On the cutting edge, Rush Limbaugh, the EIB network, in January of 2011. And by the way, I'm going to get the phone calls in this hour. It's something we always try to do on Friday, since it ostensibly on Friday is a show about the callers. So if you're on hold, you sit tight. Hang in there and be tough. Now, in January of 2011, a year and a half ago, General Motors stock price was $38.90. Today, it's just over $20 a share. Today, General Motors owes American taxpayers $40 billion. The stock market has been doing quite well. So what happened? Obama and his union pals are in charge of this great success story. He wants to do this to every other American industry. We haven't been paid back for the bailout yet. The stock price is a little bit more than half what it was just 18 months ago. General Motors owes $27 billion on the $50 billion that it got from the bailout. The lending arm, the Ally Bank, owes $15 billion of the $17 billion that it got from the taxpayers. And Obama's out bragging about this. And he's threatening to do more of the same. Not threatening. I don't even think it's a threat. I think his audience loves hearing this stuff. Because remember, his audience thinks he did save General Motors. He goes out, tells them GM's number one, and they believe it. Well, how about just a little stroll down memory lane? TARP was promised to save our banking industry. That's what we were told. That's what we were sold. Then magically it turned into a slush fund. A slush fund for President crony capitalism to bail out his donors and supporters. You remember, President Bush actually proposed using some of the TARP money to save the car companies, but used in conjunction with existing bankruptcy law. But our newly immaculated president took over, and working with the tax cheat, Timmy Geithner, at the Treasury Department, just took over General Motors and gave half the company to the UAW. And by the way, speaking of banking, hang in there, folks, because we're being told that another bank crisis is just around the corner. Now, I'm getting a fry. I put this story at the top, and it's not where I put it. But I'm going to have to find this, because the 5 U.S. banks have been told that we are in big trouble again. It's a story that makes me think the whole thing is being set up to happen again. That's just, I don't know, this perverted process of saving General Motors has cost billions of dollars, and now Obama is out warning the country that every other industry he crushes will get the same treatment. Go out, wreak havoc on an industry, which is what his plan is. Wreak havoc on it, and just like any other government program, you wreak havoc in Social Security and say, I have to fix it. You wreak havoc on a business, you regulate it to death, you tax it to death. Of course, it's never said this is what you're doing. You're trying to help. You're trying to make sure the rich don't get away with everything. You're trying to save the middle class. You're trying to protect middle-class jobs. You're trying to create middle-class jobs. What you really do is you go out and you regulate these businesses out of business. You regulate them with Obamacare, new tax law. And then as these industries and the businesses in them start getting into real trouble, then you, Obama, the destroyer, then you go in as Robin Hood or the White Knight, and you're going to save the day. And the American people applaud. He cares. The architect of the problem, Barack Obama, and his Democrat Party, target an industry, wreak great damage on it, and then volunteer to save it, like they did the auto industry, by taking it over. And that perverted process has cost taxpayers billions of dollars. The president is warning the country that every other industry he crushes will get the same treatment. And what is one of the next industries to get this treatment? The private health insurance industry. That's 1/6 of the economy. That's going to be nationalized. That's already been done. That's Obamacare. Private sector health insurance within 3 years is gone. Starting in 2014. Private sector insurance business industry is gone. And next, how about the coal industry? We have coal mine companies all over this country shutting down. They can't stay in business. They are being targeted by Obama. He has said that he intended to target them. Oh, you can build a coal-fired plant if you want, but you're going to lose money because the taxes I'm going to charge you. He said this before he was president, part of the campaign. He announced this to some union buddies. We've played the soundbite over and over again. So if the government ran the coal mines, well, everything would work out fine, just like the auto industry, just like the private health insurance industry is going to be. Oh, yeah, all these things are going to get fixed. Yeah, we're all going to be driving Chevrolet Volts. We're all going to be standing in line in third world type countries in order to get health care. And then when it comes time to heat or cool our homes and buildings, oh, I don't even want to think. It's going to be India. It's going to be India. 650 people. 600. What do you mean we never stand for it? We're standing for it now. We're sitting here so while it all happened. What do you mean we wouldn't stand for it? We're watching it happen. We watch the auto industry go bye-bye. We're watching the private health insurance industry go bye-bye. We do nothing when he targets coal and puts a moratorium on oil. We don't do anything. We don't do diddly squat. What do you mean we wouldn't allow it to happen? It is happening right before our eyes, right under our noses. The Indian population, 620 or 650 million people were without power. And you know one of the reasons why? Is because India is toying around with the idea that coal is bad and they're playing around with wind and solar and all this. They are not upgrading their grid. Asia isn't upgrading its grid. We're not upgrading our grid. We're not equipped. The Indian economy, the Chicom economy, they're both growing pretty rapidly. They're putting incredible strain on the fossil fuel power production industry. And we've got plenty of fossil fuels. There's no shortage. All of this is a manufactured panic. But everybody's falling. But I'll tell you one thing, it isn't going to happen. The Chicoms and the Indians are not going to voluntarily slow down their economies in order to make sure that they don't have power outages. They'll just have the power outage. What are the people going to do? 650 million people were out of power, and what did they do, Snurt? They accepted it. What else could they do? California just was told, we're going to have to put you on the grid. It's 90 degrees. We're going to have to put some of you people on the grid or take you off the grid. We're going to ask you voluntarily at first in the afternoons to watch your thermostats. Well, we've had people lose power here. People lost power for a week in the nation's capital. What did they do? But then what did they do? You say we won't stand for it? We're standing for the auto industry being taken over. We're standing for the private sector health insurance and health care industry to be taken over and destroyed. We're watching 55-60% of the American people, poll after poll, oppose Obamacare, but it's happening. What do you mean we won't stand for it? Who's standing up to stop it? Let me take a brief time out while you chew your cud over that. I'm going to find this bank story, because I know I had it here. Be right back. Don't go away, folks.